I've started to look at my comfort zone as this cozy place that, I can come back and visit sometimes, but I can't reside there all the time. So I've been figuring out how to step outside of my comfort zone with a little bit more ease and giving myself permission to live more of an intentional life and do things that I enjoy. And honestly, for me, I just want to live a life where each day my soul feels fulfilled. For me, my comfort zone is not only a place of stagnation, it's also a place of stillness and restoration. We want to get to this place called our optimum anxiety level. The core idea here is that our nervous system has a sweet spot. Too little anxiety and you remain in your comfort zone where boredom is, but too much, you enter into your panic zone, which can cause you to stall and not progress. The goal here is to take baby steps each day to step outside of our comfort zone into our growth zone. So for me, it's pushing myself a little bit more in the gym, or it is walking a little bit further, or it's trying something new that makes me a little bit more uncomfortable. This isn't always easy, so we're hardwired to seek out comfort and security, thanks to a defense mechanism that's actually encoded in our brain. Knowing that staying in your comfort zone isn't done because you're being lazy, it's your brain's way of saying, hey, we're safe here. I also am very intentional about thinking about how my body may respond and then what to do in those moments, because sometimes we do push ourselves a little bit too far and we end up in a panic zone, and now we have to figure out what to do because we're feeling tense, our heart's racing, we're having a lot of shallow breathing, or we're just simply feeling completely overwhelmed. So here are some things that I personally do that helps me get back to a place of ease. The number one thing for me is exercising. It helps release endorphins, and you can also feel a lot more at ease in these moments. The next thing is I'm intentional about my breathing. So figuring out some type of breath work that's going to feel right for you is so important throughout this journey. The third thing is making space for the situation and giving yourself a moment to just ground yourself. So, if I'm about to rush into a meeting, this is one of my biggest hacks. I try to ground myself beforehand. Instead of doing something until the very last minute and then logging on to a meeting, I try to pause and ground myself and kind of separate the task. And one of my absolute favorites is having a grounding drink. So, if there's an event or something where I have to log on to, and it could potentially make me feel overwhelmed a bit, then I try to have some warm tea, so maybe some chamomile or lavender. I don't do caffeine or coffee because for me personally, the caffeine only adds more anxiety, so I try to do, like a good lavender tea or something. Another thing I've been doing is always reminding myself that I can come back to this zone of comfort. So we can revisit our comfort zone as needed. We can't stay there, but we can revisit it. And we can remind ourselves that, you know what, I have this big presentation or I have something that I'm going to pitch or try. But at the end of today, I can go back to my couch and sip some tea and kind of revamp and recharge. Lastly, just keep in mind that there are small ways to just operate better in your growth zone. So you can do things like slowly saying yes to things that feel scary, but create an opportunity for growth. For me, I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago that made me feel so uncomfortable, but I pushed myself and I just said yes before I could even think about it. Expand your knowledge in an area. So this could mean reading more books. For me, I'm really trying to understand finances and investing and all of that a little bit deeper. So I've been reading a lot more finance books lately. Getting out of those comfortable routines. So for me, whenever I'm driving to this co-working space that I go to, I always like to go this certain route. And when Waze takes me another route, I'm just like, why is it taking me that way? I'm not going. It's putting me on the highway. But what I try to do sometimes is get outside of those routines that are really simple, that are comfortable for us, but we sometimes need to step out of them. We can be intentional about challenging our beliefs. This might mean talking to someone new, exploring a new topic, like really trying to understand how can we challenge ourselves a little bit deeper. All right, guys. So I just wanted to talk to you about a couple ways that I have been stepping outside of my comfort zone and expanding my growth zone and just stretching myself a little bit more. So I appreciate you for watching. And next week, I'm going into a series about nurturing and caring for myself a little bit deeper. So if you're interested, stay around for that. And if this blessed you, then please share it with a friend. All right, bye guys. See you soon.